game of the season, the North Texas Eagles. They're not a good team. Don't underestimate them. Do what you came here to do. Execute and win. Get the ball to the open man. Simple passes, nothing fancy. If we execute, we will win the game. All right, guys, bring it up. 1, 2, 3, Trojans! All right, get out there, guys. Hey, I heard your family is having some troubles. Let's talk after the game.
Today on SportsCenter, Troy University rolls over the North Texas Eagles for their 11th win. Sacramento drops another, and Robert Chan drops 31 on the Miami Heat to take the New York Knicks to 8-5 on the season. All this and more on SportsCenter. Good evening, I'm Paula Cohn.
And I'm Scott Stewart. Our first story is coming out of Troy, Alabama, where the men's basketball program at Troy University is being accused of paying their players through a third party. Currently, the AD of the university has made no comment on the accusation. The team is coming off their 11th win of the season earlier tonight. Coach Shaw is making his way to the podium now. Let's tune in.
Coach Shaw, what do you credit the win to?
Execution.
Can you elaborate?
Execution is the key to winning.
Coach Shaw has made no comment on the situation. Right now I have with me Stephanie Broadsbury, beat writer for the Birmingham News. Stephanie?
Yes, Scott?
What can you tell me about the situation?
Well, Scott, things pretty quiet around here, although I have spoken to many school officials about what they know, and it comes back all the same.
Execute and win.
The thing is, Scott, this isn't SMU. This isn't Michigan. Troy University doesn't have the money to pay its players. It's a small-time school with a small sports program. I'm not sure where these allegations come from, but I am sure they hold no weight.
All right, that's all the time we have. Thanks for joining.
Earlier tonight, the New York Knicks won their 5th game in a row. This would seem normal, being that basketball is a sport of ups and downs. However, many believe that the changes come about because of their rising star point guard, Robert Chan. Pretty bad at Troy University has caused a stir in the NBA as he became a superstar overnight, leading to an onslaught of Chan puns.
Chantastic! Enchanting!
Hey, Chan, do it!
Not many could have predicted the rise of Chan, but his coach at Troy was one of many believers.
I've known that he's at heart since I coached him. He comes in ready to work every day, and he knew what it took to make it to the next level. I knew he would make it.
Would you like to comment on your current situation at Troy?
Next question.
I've been blessed.
Blessed in what way?
I've had the opportunity to be surrounded with people that trust me and allow me to succeed.
Like Coach Shaw?
Of course, like Coach Shaw.
Would you like to comment on how you've been named one of the beneficiaries in the scandal?
No, I'd rather just talk about the game.
Other NBA news, Sacramento drops another game at home. Marcus Fisher shot poorly again this game, going 1 for 15 in the second half and only scoring 8 points. This has not been a good season for Fisher, who's only been averaging 9 points a game and 3 assists a game. 13-year vet has carried the Kings on his back for years, even leading them deep into the playoffs several times. Many suspect that the accusations against his former friend and coach Nelson Shaw are to blame. There are also rumors that the scandal reaches all the way back to when Fisher was playing.
Marcus, how do you think you played out there today?
Awful.
You looked like you gave up in the fourth quarter. Were you tired?
What? What kind of question is that?
I think it's a fair one.
I give 100% every time. I don't need some reporter telling me how to play the game I love.
Do you love it?
Of course I do. Why wouldn't I?
Marcus, what do you think the team needed to win?
Execution.
Could you elaborate?
Execution is the key to winning.
Could you elaborate more?
Well, let's say you have 5 seconds left. Who do you give the ball to?
Best player. I'm the best player. I need to put the team on my back.
Well, do you think that perhaps you can't carry the team anymore?
Perhaps it's time to let someone younger fill in. What are your thoughts about the New York Knicks guard, Robert Chan?
He's a good player. He's a good player because of the coach that coached him. Without him, he'd be nothing.
Are you saying that because of the funds he has allegedly received?
I have no comment on Coach Shaw or the scandal.
Coach, do you have anything to say about the accusations?
No.
You're listening to John and Joe in the Morning on ESPN Radio, the #1 source for sports news.
Hi, John and Joan in the Morning. To all our listeners out there, we're talking about the Troy University scandal. Yesterday, we found out the benefactor that Shaw was working with is Ed Stanton, known as Big Money Ed to people who know. I'll be the first to sound off on this. I think it's horrible. Why are we having college athletes sponsored by an outside benefactor? It's just ridiculous.
I agree. And the other thing that makes me sick is that this Big Money Ed was expecting some kind of financial return if the players ever made it big. I mean, what kind of world do we live in? How can we expect to have honest professional players if they have what are essentially loan sharks at their backs?
And the college system is flawed. I don't understand how we can let something like this happen. How does the AD of a university let the coach walk all over
I
him?
understand where you're coming from, but listen, the AD didn't want to see what was happening right in front of them. Also, we don't have the whole story yet. He could have been involved in some way.
All right, we got to take some calls. We've got Aaron from Alabama. Aaron, are you there?
Yes, John, I can hear you.
You have something to add.
I just want to say that I don't think Coach Shaw has done anything wrong. Just because some other man was paying his players doesn't mean he knew about it or was involved in any way.
Aaron, I'm sorry to say that you're being a bit naive. How does he not know that some other person is giving his players new phones, new laptops, extra money for the weekend?
I just think that Coach Shaw has meant so much for this community, and that it's ridiculous that you were so quick to blame him.
All right, we got to let you go, Aaron. Thanks for calling.
Let's hear from someone else.
We've got Mary from Kentucky. You're on with John and Joan.
I've heard so many rumors about this scandal. What do you think will happen?
Rumor has it Troy will be stripped of their 2010 Sun Belt title.
Another thing's for sure, Coach Shaw will lose his job.
Execution.
Could you elaborate?
Execution is the key to winning.
Could you elaborate more?
Well, let's say you have 5 seconds left. Who do you give the ball
I
to?
don't think I'm the best player.
And who is?
I mean, we're a team. We all work together. We all strive to win together.
What kind of benefits do you receive?
Next question.
Have you returned the favor to Big Money Ed?
Big Money Ed.
Never heard of him.
Haven't heard that name in years.
So you know
Of course I know. Haven't you heard the rumor?
I don't know who he is.
Sure you do. He gave you
He
money.
didn't give me money.
Big Money Ed was straight.
Never heard of him.
He helped me out.
it. So you don't deny the accusations.
You know what happened to me my sophomore year?
You went pro.
No, before that. My dad lost his job. My mom was in the hospital. We needed the money to eat. Ed and Coach approached me and handed me a blank check. We used it for food. Coach asked me for the receipts every time. As long as I gave him the receipts, he brought me the blank checks from Ed.
I did not give money to Marcus Fisher, and I stand by that.
Ed gave me books. I couldn't pay for books. I get Ed a list of my classes, and he'd buy them on Coach's orders. Coach didn't think I'd make it to the next level, so he told me be in class and get good grades. As long as I got good grades, he continued to buy my books to Ed so I could graduate.
Ed Stanton acted on his own. I'm sorry, I must be going. I have an appointment to be getting to.
Today on SportsCenter, Coach Nelson Shaw is fired from Troy University. The New York Knicks look to beat Miami again to be the best in the East. Sacramento loses again, making them the worst in the West. All this and more on SportsCenter.
Hi, I'm Paula Cohn.
And I'm Scott Stewart. Our first story is the continuing scandal out of Troy, Alabama. Earlier today it was announced that Coach Nelson Shaw was fired and will be suspended from the NCAA indefinitely. Ed Stanton was indicted and will be tried later this year. Coach Shaw is expected to make a statement sometime today.
Robert Chan's season came to an abrupt end last night. He suffered a high ankle sprain that will keep him out for several months. It looks like the team will have to continue without their channel. Right now I have Michelle Struck for the New York Daily News. Michelle?
I'm here.
Tell us how this injury will affect the offseason that Chan may have or the future of the Knicks.
Well, as far as the Knicks, this season has taken a huge blow. As far as Chan, well, things may be changing soon for the young guard. Trade rumors indicate that Chan may be on the move to Sacramento to help rebuild that dying franchise. The team is rumored to be sold to Seattle next year to be the former Supersonics. The future looks bright for this young star.
Marcus Fisher had a season-low 2 points last night against the Orlando Magic. Many are assuming he's thrown in the towel. He claims that the current situation with his former coach, Nelson Shaw, is affecting his play. Fisher has been a close friend of Shaw's since their time together at Troy University.
Breaking news out of Alabama. Nelson Shaw is making his way to the podium for his final press conference as the coach of Troy University.
I want to thank everyone who made it here today. I just want to say that Troy was good to me and my family. I want to thank all the wonderful fans and everyone who supported the men's basketball team here at Troy. Now I'll take a couple questions.
Coach, what do you think of your critics?
Well, I won many games here at Troy, so I think that speaks for itself.
Why did you allow your players to be paid?
I'd rather not talk about that.
How bad do you think your reputation will be hurt?
It will take a blow, but I think people will remember what I stood for.
Which was?
My game plan.
What do you mean? What about the game plan?
Execution.
Could you elaborate?
Execution is the key to winning.
Could you elaborate more?
Well, let's say you have 5 seconds left. Who do you give the ball to?
Your best player?
No. You give it to the open man. You see, it doesn't matter who's your best player. You play to execute. And if you execute, you win. You put your guys in the best place to succeed.
I don't know what happened out there.
What do you think happened out there?
Couldn't hit a single thing.
Well, do you think it's because you missed practice?
Practice?
I think moving forward is best for me and the New York Knicks.
Practice?
I've heard the trade rumors, so it could happen any day.
It's easy to talk about. It's It's easy to sum it up when we're talking about practice. We're sitting here supposed to be the franchise player, and we're here talking about practice. Not a game. I'm going to go out there and die for a real game like in my life. Not a game. We're talking about practice, man. Not silly as that.
If I do get traded, I'll work hard for them. Show up to practice every single day.
You're talking about practice. I'm not supposed to be there. I'm not supposed to lead by example. I know that. I'm not. I'm not shoving it aside like it don't mean anything. I know it's important. I do. I honestly do.
About practicing. You can't execute the way you want to. That's what Coach Shaw taught me at Troy.
We're talking about practice. We're talking about practice? We're talking about practice, man. You come to the arena, you see me play. You see me play, don't you? You see me give everything I got, right? We're talking about practice right now.
Marcus has always practiced hard. He plays harder. For people to question his effort is just ridiculous. Marcus continues to perform at a high level, even when the numbers don't show it.
What do you think about the trade rumors about Robert Chan?
Wherever he lands, he's destined to succeed. I've always loved that about him. He can always excel in whatever system he's thrown into.
Why did you allow your players to be paid?
Next question.
Why did you think it was right?
How does this happen?
Why did you do How is this possible?
How did you think that you could get
How
away
can
with
you do
cheating?
this to Troy?
Enough with the questions! Yes, I paid my players, but I did not use it as an incentive to come to this school. The NCAA neglects its athletes. I was walking with the team around New Orleans when we went to play a tournament there. I told them that we were eating at a local restaurant, and do you know what they told me? They say that they can't afford to go to a restaurant. They don't have any money. I paid for their meals that day. Is that using funds illegally? If it isn't, that's bullshit. I had a player ask me, why do they sell my jersey for $60, but I can't even pay for gas for my car. Don't say that they can get a job. Because basketball is their job when they're here. So I paid them. Yes, they deserve it. I love my players. They deserve the best. I regret nothing.
You're listening to John and Joe in the Morning on ESPN Radio, your number one source for sports news.
Hi, John and Joe in the Morning. We start with our main story. Earlier today, Coach Nelson Shaw made a shocking announcement. Let's go to the clip.
I've been fighting against lung cancer for several months now. My health has been steadily decreasing over the past couple of weeks. However, I am fighting. I ask you all to pray for me and my family. I will hopefully return to coaching in a couple of years after my suspension has been lifted and my health back to normal.
So this news is just devastating. As you may know, he's in the hospital now for observation, and we're all hoping for a very speedy recovery. On the phone now, we have one of Shaw's former players, Marcus Fisher. Hi, Marcus. How are you this morning?
Doing well, John. How are you?
We're both doing well. Tell us, Marcus, how did you react to the news of Coach Shaw's health?
Well, actually, I've known of his condition since he was diagnosed in November. He's such a good friend and mentor, so the news was surprising. It shocked me and hurt me.
Many believe that's the reason why you've been playing poorly. Is that what you think?
Actually, I don't think so. I lost my love for playing the sport and I've lost my drive. I can't say this officially, but I don't think I'll be returning next year.
Well, now, is this because of Coach Shaw, or because of the recent trade bringing Robert Chan to Sacramento to take your starting spot?
That had nothing to do with it. I think Robert will be a great addition for the Kings. It'll be his team to carry now.
Well, thanks for being with us this morning, Marcus. I'm sure we'll hear from you in the future.
Thanks, John and John.
Up next, we have the man we just mentioned earlier, the talented, fantastic Robert Chan. Robert, are you with us?
Yes, Joan, I can hear you.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing great, John. Thanks for asking.
So tell us, how does it feel to be a King?
It's different. I had no idea this how my season was going to end. I'm so blessed to be in the position I'm in.
I know the story just came out, but what's your reaction to Coach Shaw's condition?
Definitely a shock. I'm not sure what to say about what's happened. And I know people are going to remember him for the scandal. But when you think about it, he was looking out for us. He wanted what was best for us.
Breaking news out of Alabama. Nelson Shaw, the men's basketball team at Troy University, has lost his battle with lung cancer at age 63. He coached the men's basketball for 26 years. He won multiple Sun Belt titles with the team and took the team far into the tournament several times. He leaves behind his wife and 2 sons, and he's scheduled to be buried April 5th. Right now I have Beat sports writer for the Birmingham News with us. Stephanie, tell me what the mood is around the area.
Right now, sadness. Everyone around Troy is deeply saddened by the news. It seems that the coach's accomplishments and legacy is still conflicting with those still perturbed by the recent scandal. However, I've spoken with the new AD of Troy University, and he is focused by moving on. The search for a new coach has begun, and there are many candidates to choose from.
Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Hi, everyone.
As has been previously rumored, I'm retiring from the Sacramento
I'm
Kings.
excited to start a new season with a new team.
Lost my love for playing the sport.
I love this sport.
Lost my drive.
Championship drives me.
I know that this has been a bit of a shock, but it is the right move.
Can't wait to get out there and practice with my new teammates.
Can't wait to spend time with my family.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
The sports world has changed over the last several months, from the death of historic coach Nelson Shaw to the scandal that has completely unraveled the Troy basketball program. This news will surely add to that list. The Sacramento Kings are to be sold to Seattle to become the Supersonics. Right now I have Mitch Yearley from the Sacramento Bee. Mitch, how is the city dealing with the move?
Well, the fans are angry and confused about the move, but after a season of record low attendance, they can only blame themselves. However, rumor has it that our very own Marcus Fisher is on the short list to take the vacant position at Troy University. People are questioning why he wants to return to the sport, considering the comments he made at his retirement announcement.
Lost my drive.
Many believe he feels obligated to keep the system in place at Troy University following the death of Coach Shaw.
Breaking news out of Troy, Alabama. Troy University has chosen their new head coach. Marcus Fisher, former guard for the Sacramento Kings, has agreed to a 3-year deal with Troy. In other NBA news, the Kings drop another game at home, and Robert Chan continues to vent his frustration at his teammates in the media. Many believe that his quick rise in the NBA has grown his ego.
Hello again.
Hi, everyone.
What an exciting year this will be.
What a frustrating year this has been.
Can't wait to be back at
I
Troy.
can't wait to leave this place.
It's time for Troy basketball to rise
It's
again.
time for me to be the star.
It's time for execution.
I need to take the big shots.
I love this game.
I don't be taking any questions today.
Thank you so much. It's time to bring back Coach Shaw and his methods.
Let's talk about Coach Shaw a bit. How do you think he will go down in the history of college sports?
Unfortunately, I think he's tainted his image with this entire scandal. I don't think he'll be elected to the NCAA Hall of Fame because of it. People will remember that he cheated his way to the top of the Sun Belt.
You know, I disagree. He will be a Hall of Fame coach. It'll take some time, but people will understand, and he will be elected to the Hall of Fame one day.
This here's a clip of the locker room before the final game.
All right, guys. Let's go out there and show what Troy basketball is about. Played hard all season, so let's finish hard. Execute. Execute and make sure it's perfect. Find the open man, make the shots, and execute. Execution is the key to winning.
I think that sums up Coach Shaw for everyone watching.
Well, what do you think was the coach's philosophy throughout his career?
Probably what you just heard.
I love my players.
Execution is the key to winning.
They deserve the best.
Executing and making sure that it's perfect.
I regret nothing.
I think that sums him up pretty well.
I regret nothing.
All right, boys, first game of the season. I know I'm not Coach Shaw. I know I'm just a first-year coach. My philosophy is the same. Execution. Execute. Make sure it's perfect. Find the open man and get it to him. Let's go out here and show that Troy basketball is not dead. It's still alive and kicking. Go out there and win. If you do win, I might. You boys not out for practice tomorrow. Let's bring it in. Trojans on 3. 1, 2, 3. Trojans. Hey. Heard you've been having family troubles. Let's talk after the game.